Let's see if these are working. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
You positive? Huh?
Yeah.
I sit back, relax, will you? Welcome to the XM Virtual Theater, and please say hello to number 53, Jeff Skinner. Well, how's it going for you? You been busy today, or you just get here?
No, I got here a bit ago. Just only like 2 hours ago.
You sure now?
Been pretty busy 2 hours.
Been great, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, this has to be the whole. We'll get into the whole season and all of it, but being selected to be a rookie number one is a huge honor. But now it's gone to a different place for you. How's it been? Have you been able to kind of take it in a little bit and appreciate it? I know your family's here now, and this stuff goes 100 miles an hour, Jeff. How's it going for you?
Yeah, it definitely does. It goes by fast. I think the biggest or the most I've been able to sort of reflect and sort of think about what's happening is when I've been talking to my family and talking to my older brother and my mom and dad about what's gone on, and it's pretty crazy what's happening and how fast it's happening in such a short time that it's sometimes it's tough and it's kind of overwhelming, but at the same time when you get to share those moments with your family, it's pretty cool and pretty thankful for that.
I heard they had to pick you up and carry you out of the bistro last night. Is that true?
Yeah, it's pretty,
I was listening. We had a meeting at the arena. Yeah, we had a meeting last night about the skills competition, and as I was in my car, I turned it on and I heard about the security and I heard the crowd, and that was something, huh?
Yeah, it was cool. I hadn't seen one of the shows before, so it was pretty crowded. It was nice. It was fun.
All right, now your season so far. You know, I think obviously we love watching this guy, right? Absolutely love watching. You've gone about your business. You've played extremely well. You've got a lot of accolades coming your way. I want to know, you know, the challenges that you faced. I want to know because I get to see every day, and I know how hard you work, and I know your focus, your preparation. Some of the challenges that you've been able to meet, and what's it been like for you in that regard?
I mean, I think probably the biggest challenge off the ice is moving away. I mean, I moved away. It's sort of that's why I think junior was good for me. And in Kitchener, I was away from home, but I was still close enough where my parents could come down and see me play. And I think the biggest adjustment is sort of just being on your own and sort of making your own decisions and doing your own laundry. That sucks.
You do your own laundry.
Yeah,
you
do my own laundry.
You had no help.
Do my own dishes. Yeah, it's.
What about Peters? I mean, he's got to help a little bit, doesn't he?
Yeah, do his dishes, do his laundry.
You do his dishes and do his laundry.
Just kidding.
Now, is there nobody else though? I mean, you leave it to your roommate, and that's it. You're not helping anybody else out with that stuff, are you?
No, we split the dishes. We do our own laundry, just so things don't get mixed up, and just a good system, I think.
It is a good system. If it's not broke, you don't want to fix it. But how's the process with the veterans? I mean, they've given you a rough time at times? You know, it's not easy to be a first-year player. National Hockey League. I'm talking about the kidding around and the hazing and all that. You should see what they do to these poor guys. All the young players on the team, there's a bunch of them now, have to sit and wait for everybody to go through airport security before they get on the airplane. So they all sit there and wait, and then our group comes on at the end and we just say, "We guys just go, please, just go." But I mean, aside from that, and it's all in fun, I know, but how's that been?
Yeah, that's fun. I think I'd rather sometimes the airport, the lobby chairs are more comfortable than the plane, so it's fun to sit there than sit on the plane. I think no, they've been good. I think it's kind of awkward when they sort of give it to you and they start chirping you and you can't chirp back because they've been in the league so far. You can't really chirp them about anything. So it's fun though. It's all good fun. It's fun to get a laugh, especially when you're together for that long. I think if you don't mix in a few laughs, then it can get pretty intense, and tempers might go short there.
The beauty of this entire weekend is that we celebrate the game of hockey. We celebrate the beginning of the sport, the very grassroots of how the league started. But we also celebrate young men who have matriculated at this point to play in the National Hockey League. Your earliest memory of playing hockey, watching hockey, how far back can you go? Don't tell me it's last week. How far can you go back for us? I want to know when the light came on, when the burn started, when you started to really fall in love with the sport.
I think probably my earliest memory of hockey is probably one of my worst memories. I was playing like house league, and you had to rotate going through goalies, and I was in net, and I didn't like playing net because you got pretty bored when the puck's at the other end, and I started skating around the net, and
the play's going on.
Yeah.
All right, that's good, Jeff.
Yeah, I would just
picked the right path,
keep
but
my
go
legs
ahead.
warm, keep my legs warm, keep myself in the game. And I don't know, I was 4 years old. I just sort of somehow found myself inside the net, and my helmet was stuck to the netting. And I was pretty upset about it. I think that's the only thing I can remember. And they came down, and they shot it on me, and I was in the net.
You're still stuck to the
I stopped it, but I was in the net, so it was a goal.
So it was a goal.
Yeah.
And that's when the coach said no more.
Yeah, no more goal.
We'll find you another spot.
Yeah, so yeah.
So you're probably 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
My first good memory probably a couple years later. Just playing summer hockey, I think, with my brother. I was so excited because I got to play hockey in the summer when there was no school, and to play with my brother and to play on a line with him. It was pretty fun. I think I can remember. It was a lot of good times in that tournament.
Tell us about your family. How many sisters? Your brother? Tell us about the breakdown in age. I want to know the pecking order. Some folks probably know, but some don't.
I have 4 sisters and 1 brother. I have 3 older sisters. 2 of them are twins. Twin 26-year-olds, and then a 22-year-old sister. Sorry. I'm gonna get this wrong. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Is there anybody within an earshot here? The Skinners are behind that curtain.
26 and 22, and then my brother's 20. And then my younger sister's 16.
So how long did you play with your brother? It's only a couple years. So you guys played together?
Yeah.
Growing up for a while?
Growing up, when I was really little, I played on his team. And then just 2 years ago, he was playing Major Junior with me in Kitchener for half the year. That was pretty cool.
Whose idea was it to start the figure skating?
I think my parents.
Your parents?
Yeah. I don't know. My mom always tells me the story where I was watching. I think my older sisters were in it, and I saw someone come out with a big trophy, and I said I want to win one of those to my mom, and she said okay, and she put me in it.
That's great.
So I guess.
So you were how old then?
6.
6.
Yeah.
So you did that from 6 to 14?
6 till 12 or 13.
Played hockey at the same time?
Yeah.
Wow. There's a direct benefit. Tom Barrasso always says the one thing his parents made him do, he cried all the way, was take figure skating. And he said it helped him as a goaltender immensely. How did that help? How did figure skating help you?
I mean, I think for me, being on the ice so much as a little kid just sort of instilled in me, I guess, a work ethic. I think obviously it was a lot of hard work getting me there, getting me to the rink and stuff. But I just sort of found when I wasn't doing something, I was sort of anxious to get doing something. I wanted to be busy. I think I can credit my parents for really giving me that work ethic. And I think obviously on the ice, I think being on the ice that much as a little kid, being on your skates so much, I think you get more comfortable, and you just sort of learn the edges and sort of risk it more, and each time you sort of learn more about it, and I think it just sort of comes naturally into my hockey game now.
How did it work though? I mean, you were a national junior medalist, you had accolades, so you had an opportunity to keep going. Why did you make the break and pursue hockey?
I think I just liked hockey better. I think I did them both equally as competitively, I think at the equally is at a high level. But I think when it came down to it, I watched hockey. I didn't watch figure skating. I watched hockey. Most of my friends played hockey.
Are you a Leaf fan?
Yeah, I was.
You were? Okay. All right. Go ahead. Continue with your answer. I'm not going to bother you with that.
Yeah, I watched the Leafs, and I think, I mean, I don't know. You just sort of.
Do you remember the Toronto Maple Leafs playing the Carolina Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2002? Do you remember that?
No.
You don't remember that. How old were you?
I don't know. I was
Do the math.
I was a Leaf fan, though.
I know, but
So
you're
I don't
saying
wanna
you don't
remember
remember.
it.
That's what I'm driving at. Yes, I know. He was 10 years old. You should remember that. You remember that. Who was your guy?
Sunday.
That's Sunday.
Yeah.
Great choice. Great choice. Absolutely great choice. All right, so now you decide hockey's the way to go. When did you maybe think there's a chance? I might have a chance to play. Let's just stick with major junior. When did you have opportunity to think about that? Coaches help you, inspire you? When did that light go on?
Yeah, I think obviously that's a big step. When you play major junior, you move away from home and you're at the rink every day, and it's a lot more of a commitment, I think. And at that point, I think you sort of realize you're playing with the 18, 19, 20-year-olds when you're just 16, and all of them, they're trying to make a living in the sport. They're trying to get drafted. They're trying to get pro contracts. And I think when you're 16 years old and you see a guy across the room and he wants the same thing as you, to win, but at the same time he's got I guess his livelihood in the future sort of on the line. That's sort of when I think it sort of gradually sort of settles in on you, and I think you just sort of comes up on you and sort of sneaks up on you, and then I think you get into your draft year, and I mean, obviously you want to do as well as you can and see where you go.
You pay attention at all to what people are saying? You pay attention to rankings at all? I mean, depending on which list you looked at, you know where you were, right?
Yeah.
7th overall, tremendous. But on some of these lists, you were me away, and I think blows everybody away now. Did it ever upset you? Did you ever? Did it drive you a little bit more? Did you even pay attention to this?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I didn't really look at them. I think you can't get away from it. I mean, your teammates will tell you, and I think before the lists come out, people know, and like it somehow comes back to getting back to you, and I think it probably actually made my parents more mad than me, because my parents, I mean, they're my biggest fans, and
you're first overall for them. Yeah, I get that.
They see you every day, and they know what you can do, and I mean, they're obviously probably a little biased.
Just a little.
They probably
but
think
okay.
you're a little. They're always going to give you the benefit of the doubt, but I mean, it didn't bother me. I don't know why. I think it just sort of comes at you so fast that you don't really want to pay attention to it. I think if you start paying attention to it, it can sort of, I don't know, get you on a negative attitude, and that's.
But Jeffrey, you scored 70 goals. All right, somebody missed the boat on this. All right. I mean, I in my job, I can't pay too much attention to what's going on with the junior leagues until it's time for the draft. But when those numbers came up, 50, 20 in the playoffs, I mean, that speaks for itself. So I think that's good. It's our victory here, right?
Yeah.
We're very happy. We're very, very happy. Now, did you have any idea Carolina might be where you're going to land?
I'd say up until the day before the draft, I had no idea. I think the day before the draft, I met with Mr. Rutherford. Ron Francis was in the room. Mr. Carmanos was in the room, and
You nervous?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think it had come. I'd met with him at the combine. I think you meet with so many teams that
Right.
it just sort of blurs together. But I only met with sort of 2 or 3 on the day before the draft, and I remember sitting at the draft, and my agent said it went well, and they liked me, but you never know. And I think when it came down to the 7th pick, a couple guys had dropped, and they weren't sure if they were going to go with a defenseman, or I mean, so many things come into play that it just sort of hits you then at 7th pick that maybe you're going to get picked, and then I heard my name, and I guess.
You grab your mom first or your dad?
My mom. My dad.
That's
my dad,
a boy.
yeah.
That's a boy. Good job.
My dad. That's planned. Me and my dad.
That was a plan?
Well, well. I
You
don't
guys
know.
staged this.
If my mom's here, no. Just my dad's here.
Your dad's here.
Yeah.
I know that. All right.
He said
cool.
that if my mom didn't get hugged first, she might get mad. So we don't want my mom to be mad at us. So.
Was everybody there? Your whole family?
No. Some of my siblings had to stay back. They're at school. My older sister had work. Two of my sisters were there, and my brother,
Okay.
and then my mom and dad.
All right. So now, after that, after all that excitement, then your work starts, right? Tell us about your summer leading up to your first training camp.
Yeah, it was pretty quiet. I mean, it's so much of a sort of a climax. I think the draft in your sort of your career in your life, and then after that, there's just it just sort of goes quiet, and everyone goes to their summer, and you work out. And I think for me, I worked out with Gary Roberts this summer, and he obviously helped me a lot. And I mean, you just try and work as hard as you can, and then come to camp as prepared as you can be, and try and make the team. And that's all I did.
You were fantastic at the rookie tournament. What's your first memory of the big camp? It doesn't have to be on the ice. It can be, you know, they hit my skates or something. I don't know. What's your first memory from your first week as a
I think
potential pro?
Well, we were split up into two groups because there's so many guys, and I walked in the room, and Eric Cole sort of, I mean, he's a pretty big personality, pretty big guy in the room. I was turning the corner, I almost bumped into him, and he's just sort of whispered in my ear. He said, "I think you and I might play on a line here for the next couple days in the preseason." And I sort of smiled at him. I said, "Okay, that's good." And he said, "So wake up." and then I don't know what I did. I think I laughed, or wasn't sure if it was a joke or if it was serious. So I just sort of walked over to my sticks and started taping them. And then I remember on the ice later that day, I think I was pretty nervous passing him the puck.
Did you feel the need to give it to the older guys? I mean, a lot of young players, you know, I got to pass. Did you feel that need?
In your practice?
Practices, yeah.
I don't feel the need really.
I just see it. You're
just
shooting a great deal.
I just don't want them to be mad at me. So, I mean, I'd be as nice to them as I can be to them, so they don't get too mad.
Eric's been a tremendous influence for you, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Here,
Yeah.
Eric Cole.
He's been huge. I think I played with him a lot in my first couple months. And when you're coming off the ice, I think the game happens so fast, and it's such an adjustment for a young player to sort of come into. It's nice to have an older guy that's been through all that he's been through, that sort of comes off and sort of just gives you little pointers about I don't know, just situations on the ice that you can't sort of replicate in practice because it happens too fast.
Your first month, you sign your contract, you make the team, off you go to Europe, you come back. Did you think after that first month you were ever going to sleep again? Do you think there was any sleep allowed for anybody in the National Hockey League? I mean, I kept wondering, I said, poor Jeff Skinner, he's going to think that I wake up, I play, I go to bed at 3 in the morning. That's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. That schedule was unbelievable to start
it was
the year.
crazy. For sure, I got a little bit of everything, I think, going over to Europe, going over to the Western Swing and having the time change and trying to talk to my family. And I don't know, I think the biggest thing was the travel, the length of it, but also I never flew to a game, and the plane's pretty nice, so I was pretty excited to go on the plane.
Never flew before with a team?
No, just on the bus.
Okay, so you've never had the opportunity to see some of these other planes that others might use.
No.
So you're used to this, so you're not going to let it go.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah.
All right. You know, as you go through the league now, and you play your games, and you get your first goal, and you get all the firsts out of the way, and now you become a player that is relied upon, a player that has to perform. Tell us about that. Tell us about the coaching you've received. Tell us about the support from other players, and because your consistency has been very admirable.
Yeah, I think the coaching staff has done a great job of sort of easing my way in. I think it's a tough situation because you never know how much is too much, and there can be too much in a young player's career. I think you have to sort of take their time and ease their way in and put them in the right situations on the ice and in the right matchups line-wise. And I think just putting me with Eric Cole, I think that's a coaching move that's sort of invaluable. And I think as you go along and you become more of a contributor and you want that. I think you want to be a difference maker. You want to be relied upon to produce. You want to be the reason your team's doing well. And I think the more you go on and the more comfortable you get, the more confidence you get. It's easier to do that.
You know what? I'm amazed. I'll take some questions in just a moment here, but personally, I'm amazed at the way you've been able to prepare and focus. I think it's easy at your age to come into this league and be awestruck a little bit by who you're playing against, the surroundings you're in, the cities you get to go to, the hotels you get to stay in. How have you been able to manage all that? How have you been able to stay grounded and make sure that you do your job? Now, this is your job.
Yeah, it's tough. I think I went through it a little bit in junior. I think when you come into the OHL and you're playing with guys that much older, you tend to get a little awestruck. I think I got a little awestruck at the beginning of the season, but I think it just comes with it. You just sort of have to fight through it, and then you get more comfortable every day and more confident. And I think when you're playing with no confidence, it's tough to play. And I think the first couple months of every rookie season can be tough because it's tough sort of finding a routine and getting into sort of new situations. I was fortunate, I think, that adjustment went smoothly. I think obviously I have a lot still to learn, but those first couple months are sometimes tough to get through.
All right. I've got a gazillion questions, but I want to get to some of you. So, who has a question for Jeff? We're going to ask you to come up and give us your name, address, phone number, email, proof of citizenship. I love the sweater, Kevin Deneen. Just fire away.
All right. I've given this a lot of thought, and thank you for the Kevin Deneen. I actually traded a Kevin Deneen autographed hockey stick for this. I figured I would never use the stick, so why not keep the sweater? We were talking a bunch of different things about what we could possibly ask you. Anything from the crazy, like, who's the oldest woman to hit on you? What's the craziest thing you've autographed?
I didn't even think of that one.
Oh, I mean, really.
I might like to know.
My wife, oh, he's so cute. I know, right? So, you've gone through a lot. You're 18 years old. I think back to myself when I was 18, and a very popular question from adults would be, what are you planning on doing? Where are you going to be? You're here with us now. Everyone thinks you're great. I watch in the Calgary game the skills where you turn around and behind your back, amazing. But 10 years from now, where is it that you want to be? Is Carolina, you think, your home, or do you think you want to be in a bigger market? Do you think you want to be something else?
You're not with the media, are you, by any chance?
No.
No, okay.
I'm a
All
teacher.
Right, good.
And
that's a great question.
Could you make a deal with him to maybe shave those sideburns? I'm just putting it out there.
These are Velcroed on. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, obviously, professional sports, it being such a business, it's tough to sort of predict down the line. I think, obviously, right now, I'd want to be in Carolina. I think more importantly, you want to still be playing in 10 years, and I think you still want to be contributing to your team. And I think just 10 years from now, it's tough to sort of think of that long from now because of all that happens so fast. But yeah, I'd be happy in Carolina.
It's a great answer. But as you know, you don't take anything for granted in this sport, right?
Yeah.
It's a great answer by you. Yes, you have a question or no? We're just taking a picture. Okay, another question, please. Come on up. You want to come up? Come on up, young man.
Why do people always smush you?
Yeah, Jeff, why do they smush you around out there? That Corey Sarich and some of these other players in the National Hockey League. And what is this? Number 7 overall beats Taylor Hall. Skinner for the Calder Memorial Trophy. How about that? Very good. Thank you, bud.
I don't know. I think it's my parents' fault. I think they should have made me taller. My brother's bigger than me. He's 6'1", so.
He kicked you around too, didn't he?
Yeah, he smushed me a bit.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'll work on it. I'll try and get bigger.
But it's almost a compliment. I mean, when they come at you, you're going to get targeted now. That's the way you're playing. It's going to happen. It's the nature of hockey. He's ready for it. Don't worry. He's ready for it. Next question. Yes, come on up. Then go.
Alright, so what are your thoughts about you being Rookie of the Year, getting the Calder Memorial Trophy? What do you think about it?
I can't hear. They're cranking up some other thing over here. It's driving me crazy.
What do you think? What are your thoughts about you winning the Calder Memorial this year?
What are your thoughts about if that comes your way?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough to sort of. I think you can't really get away from it. It's one of those things that, one way or the other, it's going to come back to you. The talk about it and the hype about it, but it's just trying to put it out of your mind. I think it's not as hard as it seems. I think. I mean, for now, I think my focus is to get into that top 8, and I think when it comes to the end of the season, that's when you can sort of think about the trophies and sort of reflect on your year. But at the same time, I think during the season, it's everything's happening so fast, and it's sort of tough to think about the future like that.
There's one trophy you're worried about.
Yeah.
SC.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. The rest of it will come his way. There's no doubt about that. Next question. Yes, sir.
My question is, as more people pick on you, how much closer do you think you get to that Gordie Howe hat trick?
He wants a Gordie Howe hat trick out of you, Jeff. That'd be something.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it has to be the right time. Obviously, I'm not. People smush me, so I'm not gonna fight. but I think when you're in the heat of the moment and the emotions sort of run high, I think it's tough to sort of predict that. I think I'm not gonna go out looking for a fight. At the same time, when you're, I think there's a time and a place to sort of stand up for yourself. And first I think you have to worry about getting a goal and assist in the game. But yeah, maybe that fight will come. I'm not sure. I don't know.
So next time you get a goal and an assist, just drop your gloves with anybody. Take on the linesman, just whoever's in the vicinity. Just go ahead and do it. That would be good. Any other questions here? Come on up. What a crowd here tonight, huh? It's awesome.
Well, I was wondering how you like living here in North Carolina.
Very good question.
It's great. I live with Justin Peters, our backup goalie, and all the young guys sort of live in the same area, so we get to hang out quite a bit, and it's been fun. I think from all the support you get, I think as being a part of the team, it's fun. It's made the adjustment, I think, that much easier.
Okay. Yes? And you? The hardest part is getting up here.
I just wondered what you do to get in the groove before a game, just to get mentally prepared. Is there a favorite band or song you listen to or anything like that, just to get focused on the game?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think each player is sort of different, and it's kind of personal. It's sort of a routine, and you sort of have to find what works for you. For me, it's not too much. I think I don't have too many superstitions. It's more a routine. I think you just find yourself doing the same things at the same time. You eat at the same time on game days. I think a lot of the guys like to play soccer out in the hall and sort of get warmed up, and you do the same things in the warm-ups that you always do. It's just sort of, I think, more of it being comfortable than sort of make you sort of excited. as I think for me, I don't think it's tough to sort of get excited. I think when you're playing in the best league in the world, it's tough not to.
I see this iPod. So, who's on your playlist? You have it on quite a bit.
Yeah.
Guess give me 2.
I don't know. Most of it's country, I think.
Country, all right. That's good.
A lot of it's country. There's some.
You have a favorite artist?
No, not a favorite. I think I listen to a bunch of guys.
Okay.
I think Taylor Swift's probably the most popular in the world, so
It's all right.
that's a pretty safe answer. I don't know, Darius Rucker, Sugarland, Jason
It's all
Aldean.
good. All right, good. But you love country music.
Yeah, most of it's country, and there's some rock and some rap, but most of it's
Great.
country.
All right. Who's next in line?
Hey Jeff,
Here.
I just wanted to know who your roommate on the road was, and what's their most annoying habit or a funny story that's happened with them. Roommate
on the road and most annoying habit of that roommate? Is that the question? All right, here we go. This is going to be really good.
I room with Jamie McBain on the road, and I don't know, is he here? I know he's in
Not
the
right
rookie.
now, no. He'll be around this weekend. Might
I
not
don't
be on
know.
the same team. It's up to somebody else.
Maybe looking for the Gordie Howe hat trick then. If I tell him his habits.
That'd be a first, you know, that would be something. In the skills competition, you have to do it.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know. He's a pretty laid back guy. He's pretty easygoing. He always has a remote, but he's pretty good at it. He's pretty good at picking the stations, so I just leave it to him.
So he's an older guy, so he gets a, because there's 2 guys, 1 remote. That's always the issue. So older gets the remote. Is that or you just don't care?
Yeah, well, I don't care. Really.
Okay.
I think the first time we started room together, he grabbed it, and then it's just been the same every time. It's sort of routine on the road. So I don't know any of his habits that are too annoying.
All right, so it's pretty boring, but that's all right.
It's all right.
Yeah, the goaltending at 4 years old gets stuck in it. That was good enough for everybody. Go ahead.
I was wondering if Eric Stahl's going to pick you first in the draft. I was wondering if Eric Stahl's going to pick you first in the draft.
How does he know?
I don't know.
You don't. If you do, you don't know.
No, I don't know.
You sure know?
No. He's been telling me all week though I should be being nice to him. And
Have you?
yeah, I'm always nice to him. I think,
Like, what do you have to? What's defined now? How do you be nice?
Well,
what do you do for Eric Stahl?
He sits beside me in the locker room, so if this is my stall, maybe I'll just give him a little bit more.
I see.
A little more room to get ready. I haven't bought him dinner, but
Why not?
I don't know. He can buy his own dinner.
Beautiful.
But I give him
Sure
extra
can.
space.
I like that. That little
So,
scooch over. That's good.
He's bigger, so I mean, I think I'm being pretty nice about it.
But
We'll
you
see.
think you've done a good job this week, and because you've been so nice to Eric Stahl, there might be a chance he picks you tonight.
Yeah, I think so.
And if he doesn't pick you, is this going to bother you at all, or are you going to be scarred a little bit? Are you going to be able to get through this?
I'll be moving back over and taking up my whole stall for sure.
Awesome. Yes.
Just one quick one. A lot of the guys in the league are pretty flamboyant. I can think of Ovechkin as one. But with your figure skating skills, have you ever thought about, as you're, a breakaway or something like that, you just want to do a flip in the air or dazzle them, or just because your turnout is awesome. I mean, you were talking about what figure skating would help with. You've got incredible turnout the way you go around. So.
No triple axle or something on the way in?
No,
Can you do that?
No.
Okay.
I used to be able to do it in minor hockey. I haven't tried for probably 3 years now. I think in practice, I think once you do it once, everyone seems to want it more and more, but it's not really, it's for me right now it'd be dangerous, I think, because I'd be pretty rusty. And yeah, I think some of the older guys, they make fun of me, so I don't want to do it and make fun of me.
Yeah, but you've been pretty creative in terms of just general moves, there's YouTube's going way back with you.
Yeah.
Where'd you come up with some of this stuff?
I think the moves on the ice, they're just sort of instincts. I think, I mean, jumps or flips, I think I should probably steer clear of those.
But I mean, you know what I mean, the other stuff.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's just instincts. I mean, you sort of mess around after practice and you find things that work, and then you try them at half speed and try them at full speed, and sometimes in the game it just sort of, you don't really think about it. You can't really say it's going to come up next shift. It just sort of happens.
Okay. Any other questions here? Come on up.
You seem like a pretty friendly, nice guy. So when in the game last Saturday, when you had that roughing call and you went into the box and you were like really fired up and yelling, what were you saying?
I was saying that's a bad call. Yeah, that's all I remember. I mean, I think it's, for me, it's pretty emotional game, and I think for some guys are laid back and they can play laid back, but I think me, along with a lot of guys, they have to sort of be emotionally involved in the game, and I think that's just one of those times where you sort of get fired up and you get frustrated, and those emotions come out.
That drives you, though. That drives your game, basically, is
Yeah.
what you're saying. Emotions,
Yeah.
playing with passion like that. And you're right, some players can play a long time and be great players without that.
Yeah.
But for you, that gets the vehicle moving. It's good. Another question? Yes, come on up. Bring your device.
Obviously, hockey is your passion. What else do you like to do? What are your hobbies?
I think just these last couple of months, just sort of relax. I think I'd like to at some point maybe get into like an online course and take some classes in school, and I don't know, just read. Video games sort of, sometimes they're pretty big with some of the guys on the team, but sometimes it sort of, I think it comes and goes, and I'm not really that big into them. But yeah, just sort of, I guess, hang out with the guys, just read books, not too much really. I think in the summer probably cook more for my family and just do little stuff like that.
Great. Yep.
So how are you adjusting to the spotlight? You know, things like this, people with great cameras flashing, all that stuff. You know, it's an adjustment for you. You get used to it. That sort of, you know, do you like it?
Yeah, it's a bit of an adjustment. I think Kitchener really helped me out in that sort of aspect. I think Kitchener's such a great hockey town that everything's sort of surrounded by the team, and it's a community-owned team, and it's kind of weird when you go to school and people are staring at you, and like they don't think they're staring at you, but when you're in a group of 5 guys that play hockey and you're just sort of walking around or in the cafeteria, you just sort of get used to it, and I mean, obviously this is a step above, and I don't think you can really prepare for this, but it's pretty exciting.
Let's talk about the team. Where the team's at. Come off the win against the Islanders, 1 point out of a playoff spot. You guys have to be not happy, but at least positioned very well to get into that top 8. Talk about the push when you guys come back.
Yeah, I think everyone's aware. I think everyone in the locker room knows where we are in the standings, knows where we want to be, and I think we got a good thing going, because I think when we're all playing we're all playing on the same page, and I think when we play our best, we're working harder than the other team. I think when you get into the later months of the season, it's not that tough to wind yourself up, even though we've been through a lot. I think when you know what's on the line, it sort of brings that added pressure and that added excitement. I think I think that'll be good for our team.
Are you guys the most proud of the effort that you bring game in and game out? If I were to say to you, is that maybe one trait, one identifiable trait that's been able to get accomplished since the start of the season? Is that fair? Are you guys, is that what drives the team game?
Yeah, I think so. I think, I mean, obviously we're not the biggest team, but when we're being physical, when we're skating hard, I think that's when we're playing our best. And obviously it's a tough thing to reach that consistently every game, but I think that's the goal. And to be a top team, that's the sort of level you need to be at and be at it consistently. And I think going forward, that's something we really want to try and accomplish.
Now coming here, last year at this time, you had no idea, I don't think, other than maybe the odd game on television, what it was like to play in Raleigh, North Carolina. Now you know. Just tell us, as a player, what it means to you. Tell us about the atmosphere in the building and what your impressions are.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I think when I got drafted, I didn't know too much about it. I was told a bunch about it right after, and I was told one of the loudest buildings in the league, and it's definitely been that, I think. But it's been nice. I think you never really know. You never really know what's going to happen in a new situation, really, until you've experienced it. And for me, I think coming in and adjusting, it's been easy. I think in that sense, where the fans have been great and the support for the team's been there from the start.
We have another question. Anybody have another question? You can ask too. There's no limit here.
All right, I got the opportunity. Last night, you were signing autographs. You signed some crazy things. Like I said earlier, maybe someone's asked you to sign something funny. I don't know if you recognize the person I'm sitting next to, but you may have signed a DVD case. A Death to...
Oh, yeah. I remember.
I don't know if John knows.
I'm lost right now. That's the story of my life.
So after you're done explaining it to him, maybe you could tell me whether or not you'd watch the video with us sometime. But you got to tell me about the video first.
Yeah, I was...
Okay.
I think he probably can explain it better. I was... There's a movie and there's little kids that were almost sort of a cameo sort of in the movie.
Okay, yeah.
The little kids sort of skating around, and I was one of the little kids, but you can't really see because all the kids have masks on. But,
how'd you get hooked into that?
My parents again.
Yeah. They seem to come up quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, they took me to the rink and. They never told me what it was about, and me and my sister went, and the lineup was out the building. It was probably a 3-hour wait just to get on the ice for 20 seconds, and it went all the way around the rink, and you go on the ice and you show them how they did sort of a sequence where you could see if you could skate well. And
so it's like an audition.
Yeah.
And you passed the test.
Yeah, I guess I didn't know anything about it. And I think a week later or something, my parents told me a bit about it. I think they told me. You
didn't get your own trailer or anything, did you?
No.
You didn't? Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
And then I just the movie was being shot in Toronto at Maple Leaf Gardens, so.
So they have the movie.
Yeah.
And he signed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Have you always had the movie, or it's your favorite movie? The title of the movie is?
Death to Smoochie.
Yeah, Smoochie. I knew that. I want to hear it out of his mouth, but that's all right. Okay. So is your movie career over, basically? And once you reach a pinnacle like this, you've accomplished so much in your movie career. Do you see yourself in any other roles down the road here?
Yeah, I think I'm taking a little bit of a break from it.
Are you? They call it a hiatus, Jeffrey. You're on hiatus right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I tried. I think my parents tried. They took me to a couple auditions after, and putting me in sort of commercials, and never got past the first round. I don't know why.
That's all right.
That's all right.
That's the way that works. You're right where you belong, kid. You know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. You do. One more question. Yes, sir. Actually, two. This young man wants to go again, so I'll take two more from our great young fans here.
This is a pretty quick one. Have you had any North Carolina barbecue yet?
Barbecue?
No. North Carolina barbecue.
North Carolina barbecue. Have you had any of that yet?
I haven't. I'm kind of.
You're gonna have to, you know.
Yeah, I'm kind of embarrassed to say it.
Don't be embarrassed, but you're gonna have some.
Yesterday it came up for the first time. I think I was told about it when I was drafted, and then yesterday when I was at the Backyard Bistro, they asked me if I had any, and I haven't had any, but soon I will. Soon.
All right. So, soon. All right. Last question. Come on up, buddy. You're the last guy here. Beautiful. Thank you for that. What a way to go out. That's the best question.
There's a lot of pressure on this question, I feel.
Your parents aren't going to arrange this either, so.
Yeah, my dad wants me to focus on hockey.
That's good.
So, and he's in the room. So, I mean, I have a girlfriend back home. But my dad, don't tell my dad, because he wants me to focus on hockey. Yeah. I think it's important to sort of stay in touch with people back home, and remember where you came from.
All right, very honest answer. We appreciate that. All your answers were great.
Thanks.
Thanks again. Let me just say this before you applaud. I know you want to go nuts here. A tremendous hockey player, a tremendous young man from an outstanding family. We're so lucky to have number 53, Jeff Skinner, as a member of the Carolina Hurricanes. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for coming out tonight, being here in the theater. And